We know Mog kidnapped Miquella by cutting him out of the Halig tree and taking him to his mausoleum palace in the Siofra River. I think this scene is actually what's depicted in the artwork in the opening cinematic, where you can see Miquella being carried in Mog's arms. And although the game doesn't explicitly tell you exactly how Mog does this, in a masterclass of environmental storytelling, the likes of which has come to be associated with From Software games, the environment around Ordina and in the Consecrated Snowfield actually tells the story of Miquella's kidnapping. If you go southwest from Ordina, the liturgical town, you'll see a small patch of red flowers on the floor. If you continue heading in the southwest direction, the patches on the floor will actually get more and more abundant until you get to the point where you're basically stood in a field of snowy red flowers. This is where the theme of the enemies changes as well, as you start to see enemies that you've come to know from Mog's area. And of course, it's in these flowery red fields that the Sanguine Noble invades. If you keep following the trail of red flowers, you eventually get to the Waygate, covered in blood, that leads you directly to Mog's palace. This Waygate is how Mog escaped the Halig tree. He took Miquella from Ordina and walked to the Waygate and used it, leaving behind a Sanguine Noble, a high-ranking official in his coming dynasty, to guard his retreat. Now, as for the flowers themselves, Miquella is associated with a few flowers throughout the game. First, you have Miquella's lily, which is quite an obvious reference, but there is also Saint Trina's lily, and we know that there's a connection between Saint Trina and Miquella such that they are probably the same person. Miquella is referred to as Saint Trina. I think that the flowers on the floor are lilies, a new type of lily blooming in response to the kidnapping of Miquella. It's up to you whether or not you think these look like lilies, but I think that they actually take some inspiration from tiger lilies, which you can see on the screen now. While following this path, you also come across the ghost of a noble who, when spoken to, curses Mog's name for having done what he's done to Miquella. And that's it. I think this is just another one of those situations in FromSoft games where, if you open your eyes and pay close attention to your environment, there's actually a lot more story packed in here than you realise at first glance. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.